Hello crochet friends, welcome back to Crazy Cool Crochet. This is Sylvia and today we're going to make this beautiful crochet ripple stitch poncho. And for this I used a number 3 yarn. We're going to need scissors, a yarn needle, and the hook is an H or a 5mm. Please take note that more detail will be found in the description area below the video. You might have to open that up and find the detail in there. Now for this design, I very deliberately chose a gentle ripple stitch rather than the pointier chevron. As you can see, it's creating really pretty waves rather than peaks and valleys that are really sharp. And I'm hoping that you can see that it's got its own like self-formed texture. It almost looks like we've worked in the back loop only, but we didn't. So that just adds a little extra interest. So for this design, for this pattern, we are using a multiple of 12 plus 3. So whatever size you choose to make this, and I'm making a small medium for the tutorial, you will use the multiple of 12. Now I will be working from a small swatch to show you how to work the stitch. For the small medium, you will use a chain of 147. 147. We're going to start with a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, not counting the loop on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double crochet into that 4th chain, and then we're going to do 3 double crochets in the next 3 chains, and then we're going to work a double crochet 2 together, and that will form the first little dip. Okay, so start as if for a double crochet, pull through 2 strands, leave 2 on the hook. In the next chain, start another double crochet, pull through 2 loops, pull through 3. And what you have done is combine 2 stitches into 1. And make sure you're working over 2 chains. Do not work into the same chain. Now, 3 double crochets over the next 3 chains. And here's number 3. And now we're going to work the little peak going up. So for this, into the next chain, you do 2 double crochets in the same chain, and then repeat that, 2 double crochets into the next chain. And then 3 double crochets in the next 3 chains. So 1 double crochet in each. And then the valley again. So that was the double crochet 2 together. So start your double crochet, pull through 2. You leave 2 loops on the hook. Start another double crochet in the next chain, pull through 2, pull through 3. And then 3 double crochets in the next 3 chains. And now 2 double crochets in the next chain, and 2 double crochets in the next. Now you should have 4 chains left over. No matter what size you make, you will always have the 4 at the end here. So do your 3 double crochets as usual. Now in the last chain, that tightened up a little bit there, we're going to do 2 double crochets. And that will be the case for every row. If I can squeeze it in there. When you get to the end of your row, chain 3 and turn. Now, this will be the repeat row. So you will enter a double crochet into that very first space right next to that turning chain. A double crochet. And then 3 double crochets across the next 3 stitches. You are working under the 2 strands that form that little chain at the top. You're not working into those big spaces. Okay, so you started your first double crochet and then the 3. Now in the next stitch, work 2 double crochets. And again in the next stitch, 2 double crochets. So that formed your little peak going up. And then 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. I keep losing my yarn because I'm working a little bit more loosely than I typically would. So that was 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to form the little valley. So now, if you recall, start your double crochet, pull through 2, you have 2 loops remaining on the hook. Go into the next stitch, you've got 4 loops on the hook, pull through 2, then pull through 3. Do that twice. In the next stitch, pull through 2, in the next, pull through 2, pull through 3. So you are actually working over 4 stitches here. Now do your 3 double crochets. And now we're going back up. So do 2 double crochets in the next stitch and 2 in the next. And then your 3 going down. Now do your double crochets 2 together. In the next, start another one. And then your 3 double crochets to end the row. And then into the turning chain, the top of the turning chain, 2 double crochets. Chain 3. So now you see we've got the 2 double crochets at the end and the 2 double crochets at the beginning. And you will repeat this for every row. Now I want to give you a little tip here so you are staying on track with your peaks and valleys. When you're working the 2 double crochets into 1 stitch, 2 double crochets into 1 stitch, this is what you're looking for. As you're working along and you want to check your work, there's the 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to start the 2 double crochets in the next chain. Now notice, there's the 2 double crochets. Well, we've got 4 altogether. 2 and 1, 2 and 1. You're going to start your 2 into the innermost double crochets, these 2 here. Okay, so work your 2 double crochets. See how that's right on top of this inner double crochet, the center ones. And your next one will go right here, 2 and 1. And you enter that also in the center double crochet. This will become much more intuitive as you're working along. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, another hint. As I was working this, every now and again I would realize, well, I made a mistake somewhere. It was almost always in the dip, because I would miss going into the 2 separate stitches, and I would do my decrease into 1 stitch. It's so easy to do that, so be real mindful you're working over 2 stitches. So for the small medium, you want to work for 34 rows, and that's 17 inches long, which might sound short, but that's the way I wanted it for me. I didn't want a very long poncho. However, if you prefer it longer, absolutely just keep adding rows, however many you want, and you will make 2 identical panels. After you have completed your 2 panels, you're going to place them one on top of the other, right sides together. You want the wrong side up. And then we're going to seam at the shoulder. So you determine the center of your panel and then decide how wide you want your opening. And we're going to seam using the yarn needle on a length of yarn, attach it at the outermost corners, and we're going to use a whip stitch, or you can use your preferred seaming method. So all I do is make sure that I go under 2 strands of each panel. So I go around the back to the front, around the back again to the front. So you're just going round and round. And continue that. The tail keeps getting in the way. Continue that until you get to your stitch marker. And of course, do the opposite side. When you are done seaming the shoulders, you can then add 2 rows of single crochet to the edging to finish it off. And as you can see, I did not do any kind of a border on the neckline. I wanted to feature the ripple on the neckline. So just leave that as is when you're done. So for the edging, the border, I attached the yarn into the cornermost stitch at the very edge, front side facing. And I'm not going to show you stitch by stitch because we all know how to do a single crochet, right? Okay, so you will attach the yarn, start working one single crochet into pretty much every row. When you get to the end, chain one turn, and then you will repeat for one more row of single crochet, entering into each stitch. And then tie it off. That's it. We're done. I really like this neckline. It really shows off the ripple. Okay, so I encourage you all to please head over to my Etsy shop, crazycoolcrochet.us.etsy.com, to grab up the written pattern. Thank you so much for watching, and please come on back for the next project.